Every time I step away from this game for a minute, I'm like, I want to play some more. And here I am playing some more. Let's play some more. The mayors had a debate. There was a mayoral debate between the mayoral candidates. I don't know how to say it. You should probably watch that in New York City. Wait, what was that? Hold on a second. Blades of Fire. Watch Blades of Fire. Watch the Blaze of Fire. Yahtzee Khrushchev, fully Rambamatic. Didn't I already spend all my money? Yeah, let's do it again here. Okay, let's go.
Now, I'm no video game marketing expert. My main advice for video game marketers is place the barrel in your mouth and aim upwards to hit the pituitary gland. Whoops, that'll demonetize us. But I'm pretty sure page 1 of Video Game Marketing for Dummies is to make sure your game is visible and memorable. As such, making your game an Epic Store exclusive is already putting it on the back foot, as that fulfills the first criterion about as well as pushing it off a cruise ship in the middle of the night. But you're really not going to turn things around by calling it Actually Quick Test without looking at the video title. What am I reviewing this week? If you hadn't heard of it before, I was be surprised if your memory held on. Blades of Fire. Even now I have to double check it wasn't Blades of Fury or Crotch of Burning. Anyway, Blades of Fire might sound like a Netflix documentary, but it's actually a new game from the devs of Castlevania Lords of Shadow, another world beater in the Forgettable Titles showcase. The Castlevania business Lords of Shadow sits on it like a newspaper hat on an important dignitary. Our protagonist,
hey, that was cool though. I like that.
A gruff, hairy dad with one of those names that really looks like it should be an anagram or something. Give me a second. Shit, Anal Raider? I was kidding. Aaron is minding his own business in his secluded house in the forest when dudes from the local evil empire show up and he has to rescue from them a squirrely teenage boy and the magical MacGuffin he's carrying. At which point Aaron goes, blimey, this call to adventure could only get more generic if you'd murdered my parents on the way here. Suppose I better journey across the land and murder the evil queen then. I'm a busy protagonist and I haven't got time for a refusal of the call right now. And thus Aaron's adventure begins, accompanied by a scholar boy and an almost straight example of the standard hairy dad dynamic, except instead of becoming surrogate dad to a headstrong young girl, Aaron instead spends the game grooming a beautiful hairless twin. And we're certainly demonetized now, filmed already, considering Aaron's both cool and hairdo and heavy metal brandy, who almost gets left with the job of transporting guitars made into pieces of uranium. He's hauntingly similar to the protagonist of Lords of Shadow, the whole mythic fantasy setting has much the same vibes as well. But while Lords of Shadow was dismissed by us tosspots as a supermarket brand World of War, Blades of Forgotten again has come a long way and graduated to being supermarket brand Elden Ring. So we have your usual Souls-like format, exploring semi-open world, find bonfire checkpoints, run into a lot of very burly dudes who all want to play matchmaker between your throat and your lower intestines. Blades of, for fuck's sake, what was it called again? Can't match Elden Ring for grandness of environment design. Its areas feel cramped, using to navigate. It's easy to get turned around. Confused by paths that all look the same. What doesn't help is that I kept picking up keys without noticing. They were dropped by enemies, automatically picked up, and I missed a little info that they let me know, because I was too busy teabagging the corpse. Then after circling up really like castle 4 times, I finally, in desperation, find one of the locked doors again, and bing, turned out you picked the key up at some point. Thicko, what, did you lose it up your catamite's rectum? Should have been more diligent with your anal reading. So don't seek for level design. The main gimmick of the game is that Aaron has to forge all his own weapons. The system for the clearance of the levels decided by a little mini-game that's like a cross between mini-golf and pushing the bubbles out of wallpaper and about half as exciting as that sounds. If you can micromanage the shape of materials for every single part of the weapon to an impressive degree, although pretty much every choice comes down to make it do more damage or make it quicker and use less stamina, then we can't move on until we come up with a name for each weapon we make. Love the game. I can see you're trying to keep me invested, but calling it Bum Biter isn't going to save this thing from getting chucked in the recycle bin the moment you count something with greener numbers. Whenever you die, instead of a blood stain, you've got your currently equipped weapon and have to run back to get it, which can be very annoying if it was your best weapon, or indeed your only weapon capable of damaging the surrounding enemies, who are frequently immune to at least one damage type, but it's probably also supposed to make us invested. What will you do now? Poor Bum Biter, abandoned alone among monsters like a child losing their dad in the middle of a Brony convention, wondering even now if it will ever feel your reassuring presence around its hills again. Yeah, probably just make a new one actually. Call me a monster, but we all know that kid wasn't coming out to that Brony convention the same. The other gimmick is the combat itself. Instead of the traditional light attack heavy attack, we can attack in one of 4 directions, with the space buttons, which works. It only really matters if anybody's running in one direction when they forgot to wear their armored bollock glasses, or if the terrain is stopping at nice from certain angles. But that's not nothing. Lord knows whenever a finishing blow in Dark Souls was blocked by an inconvenient doorway, I'd scream aloud for my doom to get into their hollow skull that there are a whole 359 different angles we could be approaching this from. My other tick is for the character design, which is with Lords of Shadow these days, something with great imagination for memorable characters with unique looks.
Ow.
Missed like The Never-Ending Story or Labyrinth or one of those other classic 90s childhood tales. But do these ticks add up to the Lyme disease of recommendation? Not really. The writer doesn't sell the stories for me. There's no chemistry or conflict between the game's two leads, aside from the boy occasionally tokenly reminding Aaron that he's old, and Aaron in turn reminding him he's a twat with admittedly tight buttocks. See, after giving Aaron the MacGuffin in the intro, Kid Roll
Say that.
was remaining just...
He does not say that.
Occasionally triumphantly announcing he's
I'm sure he doesn't say that.
at which point Aaron goes, "Great job, I'm glad you're around," and I honestly
Kinetic
think
revolver.
sarcastic. All its creativity,
Blessing
the
of
game doesn't
strength.
put the work in to make me invested in events. The prologue sets up that Aaron's heading off.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait, right? But then 2 minutes later,
I'm sick of this
on a whim to kill some other bloke.
thing I'm
Steals
shooting.
away, and we're stuck doing that for the next 20 hours or so. Hope the evil queen's got some magazines handy. The game is full of mystifyingly bad stories.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like
a gunslinger
one
now.
section forcing us to wait 30 seconds over and over again while a forgetful ghost stands around trying to remember how to proceed before going, "Oh, turns out the very obviously button-shaped thing on the wall is the button to open the door." Cue textual button prompt. Blades of... is, in summary, a couple of neat ideas perched atop an old, unreliable, and singularly unremarkable donkey that keeps stopping every now and again to do a very boring poo.
I think I'm enjoying this more. I thought I made a mistake for a second switching to the gun, but I do like the gun better than the other thing.
Have you ever dreamt of being Harry Potter and being a hero using magic?
It's really about what you like.
In fact, we will be playing with the brand new imposter rope, the Witch, where you will use your magic to curse your crewmates. And once they're cursed, at the end of the next meeting, they will become unlocked unless they manage to close out the Witch. And this will cause crewmates to turn on each other in an effort to save their own. Will they be able to invoke the Witch, or will they fall at the end of the meeting? Hey, thanks to Marvel Snap for sponsoring today's video. Marvel Snap is an award-winning collectible card game that combines game strategy and your favorite Marvel characters in more than 270 cards. That's a lot of cards. It's super fun and each game only takes 3 minutes. The current season is themed all around Marvel Studios, Deadpool, and
I did it.
right now, you can grab some awesome limited time Deadpool logins. Plus, there's Rank for the Sweats and a brand new limited time mode, Deadpool's Diner, where you can earn up to 32 rewards in the most chaotic way possible. For all existing players who haven't logged in for the past 30 days, jump back into the game to claim your new card
Well.
and teammate mystery variants, 500 gold, and more. Available now until August 5th, so don't miss out. With over 2,000 unique card variants, Marvel Snap is the right choice for any strategy game. Check the link below to download Marvel Snap today. Now back to you, Among Us hosts. Time to beat.
I don't want to watch this.
Okay, I
This
kinda
wasn't. It's not right now. Mayor. Mayor of the Big Billy.
Wouldn't President Trump target you, and by extension, target New Yorkers? You have 1 minute.
President Trump will
Give me the whole debate.
as the next mayor of the city. President Trump even targeted
Hold debate, please. I can't find it. Maybe if I type full mail bit, full NYC mail bit. Ah, there we go. Full video. Why is it not playing?
Contenders are here tonight. The positions on stage were chosen by random draw. Few rules for the candidates for tradition. Question and answer, you'll have 1 minute.
There cannot be this many candidates.
Offer
Jesus.
30-second rebuttals at the moderator's discretion. We'll also be asking some questions where we're looking for shorter answers. A lot of ground we want to cover, candidates. And we also reserve the right to cut off your microphone if you ignore the rules, but of course we don't want to do that. We want to hear for you to hear each other, and for New Yorkers to hear everything you have to say. Luck to you all. We'll begin with Melissa Russo.
Thank you, David. Good evening, everyone. It's good to have you. We're going to
Why do you think so many people went to the debate?
Number one in New Orleans, that is affordability. The cost of everything is squeezing residents in our city. New housing will take years to build, and we'll get to your plans on that a little bit later in the debate. But right now, we're interested in how you would help residents immediately. So what's your one big idea to make the city more affordable now, and how will you pay for it? We'll begin with you, Janice.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me this evening. You know, I'm actually the only candidate on this stage who is actually doing the work already. We have a housing plan already. I have built and delivered 120,000 new units of housing. Now with the new proposal that we have in front of us, we have over 80,000 new units of housing that will be coming up and will be affordable to the people of the city of New York. New York is not affordable. I'm a mother, a grandmother. I want my children to stay here, just like real New Yorkers want their children to stay here.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. I should remind everyone, this is a 30-second answer. We'll go to you next, Mr. Lander.
Thank you, Melissa. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Lander, the New York City Controller. I'm a lifelong affordable housing activist, and I'm a proud Brooklyn dad. Tonight, I'll show you that I'm becoming one of the state's best technologies to make the city more affordable with the public integrity to sweep away the corruption of Eric Adams and Cuomo with a proven management experience. I've been already delivering affordable home, actually deliver on my promises of 500,000 built over the next 10 years.
Okay, we're going to move on to Ms. Ramos. I want to remind everyone the question is,
Well,
what
why
is
should
your
you say
one big
okay like
idea
that?
to make the city more
That's so
affordable
rude.
now? How will you pay for it? 30 seconds.
Thank you, Melissa. Good evening. Buenas noches to everyone watching at home. Thank you so much for holding this forum. Affordability has been top of mind for New Yorkers since before the pandemic. But the
Okay, I
pandemic
can't
only
do this one.
exacerbated the conditions for New Yorkers. This is why I set out as chair of the Labor Committee in the New York State Senate to raise the minimum wage, to tie it to inflation, and I'm proud to be the last person to have done that. I'm the only person on this stage tonight who has already
right, I
had
can
a
do
desk at the mayor's office. And this is why I know that the first thing I want to do on day one is enact a health emergency so that we can keep our streets safe.
It's easier than I thought.
Mr. Myrie, your big
forgot
idea.
I had that ability.
haven't heard any big ideas yet, so if you can answer the question, please, in 30 seconds. Your big idea to make the city more affordable now, and how will you pay for it?
Thank you, Melissa. I don't have one big idea. I have three. I want to deliver 1 million homes over the next 10 years. I want universal after school for every kid in this city from age 3 to grade 12. And I want to extend pre-K and
Did I just walk on spikes?
2:30 p.m. to
Or
6
not,
p.m.
right?
My parents came
That'd
here
be crazy
50
if I
years
walked
ago,
on spikes.
worked in factories to put food on the table, where union members sent me to public schools, and that's how I became a state senator and why I'm standing on this stage tonight. That same opportunity needs to be restored for so many New Yorkers, and that is why new leadership is needed, not the leaders of the past that caused the problem.
Thank you, Mr. Myrie. Mr. Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank WNBC and Telemundo for hosting today in Buenas noches. I'm running for mayor because I think the city is in real trouble. I think we have a management crisis between the Adams and the Lander administration. I think we have a fiscal crisis where the city is actually spending more every year than it is taking in. And I think we have a societal crisis where we have division and things. On affordability, raise the minimum wage, put more money in people's pockets. more child care, after school care.
Going down, Punch.
For housing, I was the HUD secretary.
Thank you. Turning it over to Rosalie. Thank you, Melissa. Bienvenidos a todos. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're going to ask the same question again, but please.
Pirate ship, gain a blessing of talent. Create a flying pirate ship that you can freely move around, shoot stuff, and block mid-sized projectiles. That sounds fun. Let's go for it. I lost my thing though. What the hell is this? How long does this thing last? That's amazing. Alright. I shouldn't have used that though there. I should have waited. It's gonna take a while to recharge that back up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you so much.
I was
for
disarmed.
having me. We are live here in the most expensive city in the United States of America. 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. And I am running to your next neighbor to make this
Disarmed.
I will do so by freezing the rent for more than 2 million rental whites, by making the slowest bus too fast and free, by delivering universal childcare. I will pay for this. I can ask for 1%. The billionaires and profitable corporations that Mr. Cuomo cares more about than working class New Yorkers. I will ask them
Oh,
to
snap.
share so we can have a city that everyone.
Thank you so much for that.
Said Cuomo's an elitist who doesn't care about regular people. Oh.
But what we've heard from Governor Hochul is not really something
should.
that she's thinking about doing. How can you guarantee that?
So I have experience in this actually because in my first year in the state legislature, I came to Albany with the governor then who didn't want to raise taxes on billionaires and corporations. That was then Governor Cuomo. And we actually overcame his objections, raised $4 billion in annual revenue. We finally
Skeleton key. I don't like that one that much.
Okay.
But this is new. Longer than you, longer than me, the lotus flower will outlive us all. That's fine. Do it. Blocks up to 2 attacks, consumes 150 mana per block. Mana potions, restore charge.
By having a vacant apartment tax for those that are not living in New York City, by withholding taxes to DC that Trump tried to take against us, and making sure, as much as I love the Knicks, and I'm sorry they fired Tibbs, but they had to, you have to tax what's happening at Madison Square Garden. That is how you pay for it. That is how we afford
Thank you,
it.
Mr. Blake. Mr. String.
I want to actually.
That's fine. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So I can just keep my mana up, and I'll
city-owned vacant land, 1,000
yeah.
properties, and transform
All right, that's pretty
that land
cool.
into affordable housing. That property should go to not-for-profits, to limited profit developers, not the luxury developers that fund Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, but then it needs to recharge, right?
Developers actually build the big development that we owe it to the people who built this city and are now fleeing the city
Mitch Rama.
because they can't afford to live there. And we need to welcome the next generation of New Yorkers who will be here if we give them the
Thank you. Current President Trump looms large over the city, given his proposed funding cuts and his interest in hometown affairs. Democrats say they want a mayor who will stand up. Mr. Cuomo branded the president quote. Mr. Stringer called him a schmuck. Mr. Lander, you put his name on a car and pressed it in a TV ad. The voters want to know how you actually be president if you are elected next.
Okay.
We have questions for you.
Twin Cosmic Insight. It sounds exciting, and it uses a lot of resolve, and it will take, I think, 5% of my hit points. So 294 hit points becomes what?
Is investigated.
How much your mana?
Congress, alleging you lied during testimony about your involvement.
Mana can overcharge.
With that probe underway,
Wow.
how do you ensure voters that you would not become a revealing president?
That's cool.
Well, this is what Mr. Trump does, right? Started an investigation against me, against Kathy Hochul, against Senator Chuck Schumer, against Hillary Clinton. This is one of his tactics. I knew how to deal with Donald Trump because I've dealt with him before. Many times, we had many encounters, fought on a daily basis through COVID, and I won many of those battles. I fought him on ice. This is not the first time he's fought us. He's done that before, and we fought him and we won. But he has the nose against an adversary. And I can tell you this. I am the last person on this stage that Mr. Trump wants to see as mayor. And that's why I should be the first choice that for the people of the city to have as mayor.
To follow up on that, though, Democrats also raised some concerns about your testimony, so it wasn't only Republicans. Putting partisan politics aside for a minute, how would you respond to voters about the congressional findings of your involvement in that?
Yeah, with putting partisan politics aside, it's so toxic out there. The issue of COVID became a political football right away. It still is a political football between Democrats and Republicans, and even within the Democratic Party between Republicans. It's unfortunate. We should have been learning from the experience and finding out how we could be better prepared for the next time. But unfortunately, in this toxic environment, it's been nothing but politicized over and over again.
Okay, we have to move on, but I just want to, the question was, how would you respond to the
He's like, you didn't answer the question, we gotta move on now. You lost your chance to ask the question. I like how she does that, that's pretty funny.
Quickly, just a yes or no answer. Do you think that President Trump is fairly targeting Mr. Cuomo?
No, I don't think that it's unfair, but I have no interest in believing that they're actually pursuing justice.
Okay, second part of my
And to
question.
be clear, it's not unfair because Andrew Cuomo did lie to Congress, but ultimately we know that the Trump Justice Department, the Trump administration as a whole, is interested more in vindictiveness and institution.
We did it. Sharpened ruler. All that matters is the edge. Increase your weapon's crit chance. That was crazy. What is that? This thing just makes me smile. This ability. It's not as good as the other flying ability, because of the slow recharge. I mean, this is pretty epic, though. What even is that?
Why wouldn't President Trump target you and by extension target New Yorkers? I wonder.
Trump will target whomever is the next mayor. Targeted is his accomplice, Mayor Eric Adams, has collaborated with the Trump administration. Still, based on that collaboration, we saw that New Yorkers were being taken off the streets in their apartment building lobbies. We have $80 million being taken of our city bank account. So I don't think there's any question.
I like this guy, I think.
Attacked by Donald Trump. More important, however, is that we have a mayor like that. And that's what I would do. I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare as a progressive Muslim immigrant who actually fights for the things that I believe in. And the difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C. I don't have to pick up the phone for Bill Ackman or Ken Langone. I have to pick up the phone for the more than 2,000 New Yorkers who contributed massive donation of about $80 to break fundraising records and put our campaign in second place.
Mr. Mr. Montgomery is very good with video, but he actually produced something.
Zoran Mamdani, that's his name.
He also called President Obama a liar and said President Obama was evil. Take everything with a grain of salt. Donald Trump would go through Mr. Montgomery like a hot knife through butter. He's been in government 27 minutes.
Hot knife through butter? What kind of thing is that to say? Are you doing it? Okay.
He would be Trump to life.
All right. Brief response from Swamp Donnie that we have.
Hot knife through butter.
Trump billionaires who are funding my campaign. I don't have experience with party politics and insider consultants. I do have experience, however, with winning $450 million in debt relief for thousands of working-class taxi drivers and actually delivering it to working-class people like me.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. Mr. Lander, you presented yourself as a tough-talking Trump resistor, but as mayor, you're expected to deliver, including aid for the city. So how can you do that if you're always at war with the president?
Well, there wasn't anything here for me.
Look, when Donald Donald Trump and Elon Musk stole that $80 million from New York City's bank account, I uncovered it, I rang the alarm bell, and I forced the mayor into court.
They don't have that like portal thing.
Stand up and fight.
I guess there's not always a portal thing there. But I was expecting the red portal to be here, but it's not. There's nothing here except the boss fight. Maybe it's because I already did it, but I'm pretty sure I beat it at least twice. Anyway, let's go do the boss fight. I don't think we're gonna have much of a chance here. Let's just do our best. Oh wait, no, there's an area up there. Okay, under the boss, right? Why did I not see that? It's right there.
Became the first financial officer anywhere in the country to lay out where all that special money comes into our budget with a really concrete plan to help reserves on the spot. But look, with all the corruption that's in Washington, you can't have corruption here in New York City as well. It's not only that it's almost buying Congress, which is personal, it's like treating families whose loved ones are sent into those nursing homes. Trust in that junkyard. So when I'm mayor, I will stand up to Donald Trump. I will make sure that the ready authority to provide healthcare, housing, and education.
Mr. Cuomo, would you like to respond?
Yeah, please. Mr. Lander is really loose with his facts. If you want to talk about the facts on nursing homes, we'll talk about the facts. It's just parroting Trump's allegations.
I said it long before he did.
Disproven by the federal government.
Which ones are you talking about?
In terms of the rate of deaths in New York, New York is number 38 out of 50. 38. Only 12 states have a lower rate of death, which is really something to consider that we had it first and worse than anyone else. But back to corruption. Mr. Lander knows corruption because his office approved $500,000 of contracts to organizations associated with his wife, which he said his
But
deputy
I would really just like to clear
even
one.
though the deputy reported to him.
I would just like to clear one thing up.
It's
Mr.
on the
Cuomo.
corruption of the city.
It's a lie, and you know it every year.
I hear you. But the question is whether or not it's political and whether or not you're correcting the people. Were you, now that you've had time to reflect, involved in producing that report that could have the business success?
But there is no doubt that my administration produced the report, and it did not undercount the death.
Okay, you're still saying you were not involved in the business.
It's very clear. That's the Trump line, the MAGA line, right? Because it's during his Trump re-election. The New York reports always counted the number of deaths that may occur in a nursing home or in a hospital. Now that's all that that's
Move on, though. We have to give other people we'll have a lot more time on other subjects.
Yes or no? It's a very easy answer. All right, hold on. I can't. You're all fine, dude. We'll do it on deaths. Okay. I mean, it's a very black and white. Okay. Can I do Congress? We'll do that count to death. 15,000 people died, and he's still on answer. All right, here's the chance to answer the question as the listener Senator.
Yes. No, I told Congress the truth. No, we did not undercount any deaths when they are all counted in the 38 out of 50, which I think shows that compared to what other states went through,
Here comes the boss.
that are 12 states rate of death, we should really be thanking the women who be working with
No.
What experience did you have as a
You just say to the people out there,
directly to you. Because you're not hearing that communication. You're not hearing
Help!
the mayor to stand up for that.
No!
Stand up for our city. I'm the son of two undocumented immigrants who came here for opportunity.
Help!
Take me to school.
No!
They could take me to the hospital without fear of deportation.
I'm dead.
Because they knew the city would have their back. That's the kind of mayor that I'm going to be. One that stands up when necessary. Of course, we're going to work with the president when it's in the best interest of the city. But what he has demonstrated over these past 6 months is that he is.
Alright, I'm gonna stop here. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Save recent gameplay, full video. And we'll listen to more of this in the next video. Until this guy's finished talking.
That's why I want to extend pre-K and 3K to 6 p.m.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Murray. Thank you, Melissa.
Save recent gameplay.